Hey y'all, welcome back to Leslie's Mature Makeup and Beauty. Today's video is going to be the 10 products that I would buy first if I lost all my makeup. I recently saw Andrea Matilano, I hope I'm not butchering her name, do this video and I thought it sounded super fun. I've seen this idea kind of floating around on YouTube for a while. People do it with varying numbers of products, but hers was kind of the video that got me thinking it would be fun to do it myself. So I'm going to try to link her channel down below, and if I can't do that, I will at least list her name. She's younger, a little bit on the younger side, but she focuses a lot on drugstore makeup reviews, and she really does a great job with her eye looks. They're just gorgeous. I enjoy her channel, so I'll try to link that below for y'all if you're interested in watching hers. But it kind of got me thinking, what would I buy? Some of these products were super easy, like I knew right away this is what I would grab, but then when I got to the cheek department, I had a little bit of a struggle. But this is what I've landed on, so we'll just get started. Now, since I have hooded eyes, I need an eye primer. So I would grab the NYX Ultimate Shadow and Liner Primer. I have the shade Light, but this one comes in several different shades. It's like $10, $11. You get a good amount of product in here, and this one works just as well for me as like the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion does. So this is what I would grab for eye primer. Not an exciting product, but one of those that I feel is necessary, at least for my hooded eyes. And then eyeshadow palette. This is probably not going to be a surprise to any of y'all that have watched me for a little while. I would grab the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop. This one is available at my local Ulta store, and I did try for the most part to pick products that I could pick up at my local Ulta or at a Walmart. So Stone Cold Fox, I went with that for my eyes. Since I picked this up like last year, I think it was last year, I've used this quite a bit, and it's just, I love cool tones. I have a cool undertone, so I prefer cool tone shadows. And this one just gives me everything that I need. You've got your neutrals, you've got some kind of mauve tones, some rosy tones, you got some grays, and then, down here on the bottom, you got a lot of nice depth that you can use for liners. Liners for liner. The mattes in here are just super easy to work with. The shimmers are gorgeous. This is what I have on my eyes today. And this shade here, y'all know I like to set my eye primer down often. It's not coming across quite. Yeah, that's better. This Luxe shade is great for setting down your eye primer if you like to do that. And it's also a good kind of a brow bone highlight shade. But I just love this palette. It's gorgeous. And today I stayed in this column right here for my look. I just love this one. For me, this would be my go-to. I could live with this one just by itself for quite a while. Would I want to? Not just by itself, because I love makeup and I especially love eyeshadow palettes. But this one has just been a go-to for me, and she never lets me down. So that would be my eyeshadow palette pick. For mascara, this one was an easy one too. I would grab the Maybelline Lash Sensational. It's got the silicone wand that I like. It's curved. This one I can get nice length and volume. If I just put on one coat, it's a little bit of a lighter look. Or I can, I think I put 2 coats on today and I can get, a good bit of volume and length. It doesn't flake or smudge. It's affordable. It's just one of my favorites. I especially love the wand on this one. I like a silicone wand, but this one isn't one of the really pokey ones. Some of them are a little more pokey than others, but I just love this one. Since I rediscovered that last year, I have really used it a ton. And then for brows, I kept the brows really simple. If y'all have watched many of my videos, I don't always fill in my brows. So I chose the e.l.f. Brow Lift. It's just a clear brow gel wax type thing. You just dip your spoolie in, comb those brows up, and they're going to stay. Now, what I will say about this, if you don't, it doesn't feel like it ever fully dries down. So your brows might still feel a little bit tacky, but they don't move, which is kind of weird to me. I'm not sure what kind of magic they put in here, but I love it, and I have reached for this over all of my other brow products really since I discovered it earlier this year, because it's a newer product for them. I hope they don't get rid of it because I love it. And then for foundation, this one was a pretty easy pick for me too. Now if it was winter time, I might go with something different, but CoverGirl Outlast 3-in-1. I still wear this in the winter. It's just sometimes in the winter my skin can be a little more dry. This is a matte finish foundation. It's full coverage, but I find that if I just use one pump and I use a sponge, it's more of a medium coverage. 2 pumps, even with a sponge, I can get pretty full coverage out of this. It wears a long time. I wore this the other day. I think I put it on to go to church, and when I took my makeup off in the evening, it was still hanging in there. It doesn't oxidize. I don't know if I said it or not, it's a matte finish, so if you don't like matte, you won't like this. But I just love it. It claims to be sweat proof and humidity proof. I can't really say I have sweated a lot in this, but this one too I can take all the way under my eyes, and it wears well under there as well, because I don't always wear concealer. It just kind of, depends on how much sleep I had the night before, how bad those circles are looking. But this is a good one. I've been using this one since it came out last year. It's probably been about a year now, and this one she just never fails me. I love it. I can't remember how many shades it comes in, but now they do have one that is in a similar bottle with a different colored cap, so I don't know how that formula is, but this one, I love it. Now, if you don't like a matte foundation, you're not going to like this. You might want to go with like a L'Oreal 24-hour fresh wear or something, which I love that one too, but she's a goodie. And then for bronzer, I had a hard time deciding between 2 of my bronzers, but I ended up going with my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. I have the shade Sunkissed, which is my favorite shade. This is the shade I would grab. It's a nice cool tone bronzer, and it's like the name says, it's silky, it's matte, and it blends in super easy. It really does a good job for me, kind of tamping down the 5 head, I guess you'd say. But I had a hard time choosing between this one and the L'Oreal Bronze Please, but I ended up going with the Milani just because it is cooler toned. I can throw this on my crease if I want to and just, use it for eyeshadow. Not that I couldn't do that with the L'Oreal, but just this shade in particular, it just works good for me, and I don't know that you can overdo this one. I mean, I guess if you try, you can, but I just love it, and it's a good price. Milani's an affordable, easy to find brand, so I love that. And then for blush, I also had a really hard time since I could only have 10 products and I needed an eye primer. I didn't put in a highlight. So what I went for with blush is, again, from Milani, their Baked Blush. And I got the shade Dolce Pink is probably what I would grab. They have a berry shade that I think I would like as well, but it's always sold out at my local store. But since I'm not throwing in a highlight, and y'all could probably guess which one I would pick, but I threw in this blush since it does have a bit of a shimmer to it. That's what it looks like, kind of built up on my finger. So I feel like I can get away without a highlighter with this one, because it kind of gives you a nice shimmer or sheen to the cheeks, and you can kind of sheer it out, you can build it up. And this, I don't find, emphasizes my texture. I put a little bit right there, and you can see it's kind of got that nice sheen to it. But this kind of gives me that look like I've got a little bit of highlight on, even though I don't. It just kind of gives you that nice glow. And I like this shade because you can kind of, you can apply it lightly for just a little bit of pink to the cheeks, or you can build it up for a more bold look. And I really, if I could have had a highlighter, I would have probably picked my Essence Pure Nude and my Essence The Blush, but I have a lot of blushes that I love, so it was a really hard choice, but I ended up going with the Milani. And then for lips, I did pick 3 lip products because I am an older person. I'm almost 42. I need a lip liner. I've got, smoker's line's pretty bad. And if I don't have a lip liner, my lipstick and stuff is just going to be everywhere. So I went for the NYX which one do they call this? Slide on, glide on, stay on, and definitely a turn on waterproof extreme color lip liner. This is the shade Nude Suede Shoes, and this is the shade that I would pick. It is a pretty close match to my lip color. And this is a nice, long-lasting lip liner. And I can completely fill in my lips with this for a nice nude look. I can top a lips, put a lipstick on it, and it does great. It's long-lasting, like I said, and it's comfortable. And then for lipstick, this is the only thing that for me is not super accessible, but I'm pretending that it is. I would choose a Flower Beauty Petal Pout lipstick, their matte formula, and I would grab the shade Autumn Rose. Now when you look at these two side by side, I do have these, all three of these things I have on today. But this shade is darker than this one, but like I said, my lip liner is going to help keep my lipstick in place. But this lipstick is a nice, comfortable matte formula. It's one of my favorite drugstore lipsticks. Now, I love my Revlon lipsticks, my L'Oreal lipsticks, but if I could only have one, I would go with the Flower Beauty, and I would grab this shade Autumn Rose, just because this is the shade, the top shade that I love. It's a comfortable formula. You can top it with a gloss if you want something glossy. You can leave it matte and it's still comfortable. So that was why I went with that one. And then for lip gloss, I would grab the Maybelline Lifter Gloss, and I would get the shade Moon. And you can see I've just about used this one up. I do have a backup because I like to keep one, where I get ready, and I keep one in the car. This, I feel like you can put this on top of anything. A lot of times I'll just put on that NYX lip liner and this lip gloss, and it's gorgeous. But you can put this over top of just about any lipstick, and it just makes it a little bit better. You can wear it just by itself, and I think it's beautiful. But that's those three all together there. But this Maybelline Lifter Gloss formula, the reason I chose that, it's a long lasting for a lip gloss. Now, it's not going to last hours and hours. That shine's going to wear off. But even after the shine wears off, it still leaves my lips feeling good. And like I said, I can pair just these two together and get a nice nude lip that goes with just about anything. And, throw these. If I could have had one more lipstick, I would have chosen another Flower Beauty probably. But I was limiting myself to the 10. So those are my 10 picks for the things that I would grab first if I lost all my makeup. So, I don't know. I just thought it was fun to kind of sit back and look through my collection and, choose what I wanted, what I would pick first. And really the only thing that was hard for me, picking the lipstick shade was hard, and then deciding on my cheek products was hard, because y'all know I'm a blush girl. I love a blush. So I kind of struggled with those, but the rest of them were all surprisingly pretty easy. But yeah, those are my picks for what I would grab first if I lost all my makeup. Y'all let us know down in the comments what you would pick up first. I think it would be interesting to see, what everybody, kind of what their go-to is, what you would grab, if you were in a pinch and you needed something that's going to look good and last a long time and, make you feel like the best version of yourself that you can be, or that you want to be, either way. But yeah, that's that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I thank you again for all your support. Y'all are like the best. Y'all are absolutely the best subscribers on the internet. I know I say that often, but I really mean it. Y'all are just the sweetest bunch of people, and I love getting to interact with y'all in the comment section. It really just makes my day. I hope everybody has a fabulous rest of the weekend, rest of the year, as a matter of fact. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.